Double up. Yeah. 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies, I just run it up. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well. Regrets last time that I checked. First you get the money, then respect. I'm a urban legend. South Central in a certain section. Dedication. All my life, been grinding all my life.
I went to jail and I fought my case for like 2 months in the county. Got out and I just came to New York and just started recording what became the Bullets Ain't Got No Names mixtape.
Who was better with Cross?
His dad.
No.
What you mean? That's easy. Me. Of course.
And that's wrong. Me.
I'm supposed to say you?
Yeah.
Nah.
I changed diapers.
I don't think so, but all right. Next question.
Somebody went to trial and proved in court that they cured HIV. That's a great story. You know what I mean? From that point of view, that story should be told, you know?
What happens when a kid from Crenshaw, surrounded by street pressure and limited options, grows into the one person capable of uniting rival gangs, billionaires, and an entire city? That question sits at the center of Nipsey Hussle's story, and the answer shook Los Angeles to its core. Born Ermias Joseph Asghedom on August 15, 1985 in South Central Los Angeles, Nipsey entered a world where survival wasn't promised. His environment demanded awareness early, and every decision carried weight. This wasn't a place that handed out second chances easily. His mother, Angelique Smith, was African American, and his father, Dawit Asghedom, fled Eritrea in the 1970s to escape a brutal war. That history mattered. It shaped Nipsey's mindset, his pride, and his obsession with freedom, ownership, and self-determination. But here's what people often skip. By the age of 14, Nipsey wasn't just a kid hanging around the neighborhood. He became affiliated with the Rollin 60 neighborhood Crips, not because he was chasing danger, but because the environment pulled you in whether you wanted it or not. Context mattered. Growing up in the Crenshaw district, Nipsey attended Alexander Hamilton High School, but traditional education didn't hold him. By 17, the streets became his classroom, teaching lessons about loyalty, consequences, and survival that textbooks never could. Still, music was calling him. In 2002, Nipsey joined Butter Vision, a creative multimedia collective that helped him sharpen his vision. That's where he got the name Nipsey Hussle, inspired by comedian Nipsey Russell. The name stuck because he never stopped grinding. In December 2005, at just 20 years old, Nipsey independently released his first mixtape, Slossin' Boy Volume 1. The streets felt it immediately. Buzz started moving, and before long, that noise led to deals with Cinematic Music Group and Epic Records. But this is where the story took its first dark turn. Years later, Nipsey admitted he signed his Epic Records deal while actively avoiding police. He was hiding out at his homie Tony Covey's place, knowing the pressure was building. Someone connected to a case he was tied to was already locked up, and Nipsey knew eyes were on him. There was no warrant yet, but Nipsey could read the signs. Instead of panicking, he made a calculated move. He decided to sign the deal, collect the money, and prepare to fight whatever came next. That was Nipsey early on, thinking 3 moves ahead even under heat. The stress didn't stop there. His brother, Black Sam, went through something even crazier. Fearing a raid or seizure, Black Sam buried $200,000 in cash in the backyard, literally put it in the ground and started over from zero, grinding again from scratch. When they eventually dug the money back up, disaster hit. Only $107,000 was left. The rest had been destroyed by moisture and mildew. Inside the house, chaos followed. Nipsey remembered his mom, his little sister, and everyone crowded in the living room with blow dryers trying to save wet stacks of cash. The smell was heavy, the tension was thick, and Black Sam was breaking down emotionally. It was real-life pressure, no glam, no filters. Watching that moment taught Nipsey something permanent. You can't just stack money without structure. Cash alone isn't security. That lesson stayed with him forever. By 2010, Epic Records started dealing with financial issues, leadership changed, and Nipsey understood how labels worked. Once the people who believed in you lose power, you become invisible. Instead of begging for attention, Nipsey walked away. He chose independence over comfort. He left the major label system and never looked back. That same year, XXL magazine named Nipsey to their 2010 freshman class as Most Determined. But by then, he had already figured out something crucial. He didn't need permission. On December 21st, 2010, Nipsey founded All Money and Records and released The Marathon. A year later, The Marathon Continues followed, featuring YG and Dom Kennedy. The message was clear. This wasn't a phase, it was a blueprint. And without realizing it yet, Nipsey was laying the foundation for a business model that would later change how artists viewed value, ownership, and independence. The marathon had officially begun. In 2004, when Nipsey was 19, his father made a move that changed everything. He took Nipsey and his brother Black Sam on a 3-month trip to Eritrea, reconnecting them with their roots and a completely different way of living. There were no distractions out there, no familiar comforts. Nipsey was sick for the first 2 weeks, hit hard by culture shock, the poverty, the restrictions, the pace of life. It all confused him at first. He didn't know how to move or what to expect. But after those first weeks, something shifted. Nipsey stopped resisting and started absorbing. He had to let go of his comfort zone, no daily weed smoking, no cruising the hood in a car with rims. Once that lifestyle fell away, his mindset opened up. What struck him most was how Eritrean culture revolved around family and food. Eating together wasn't optional, it was sacred. In America, families moved so fast they might only sit together on holidays. In Eritrea, from noon to mid-afternoon, the entire city slowed down. Men went home, schools let out, everyone ate together every single day. That rhythm hit Nipsey deep. It showed him what real community looked like. When Nipsey came back to Los Angeles, people could feel it. He moved differently, thought differently, and started speaking with more purpose. That trip planted seeds that wouldn't show results until years later. By 2013, those seeds started sprouting in a major way. Nipsey announced he was releasing a mixtape called Crenshaw, but the rollout shocked everyone. Instead of giving it away, he said he would sell 1,000 physical copies for $100 each. People called him crazy. Industry insiders laughed. Elliot Wilson even told him Rap Radar wouldn't post the link unless Nipsey explained why he was charging $100 for a mixtape. Nipsey didn't back down. He wrote his explanation, breaking down value, ownership, and direct-to-fan connection. Then something wild happened. Jay-Z read it. Not only did Jay-Z support the idea, he bought 100 copies himself. That was $10,000 just to show respect and belief in the move. Jay had already paved the way years earlier. Back in 1998, when Jay-Z negotiated the Hard Knock Life sample from Annie, he locked in a deal that allowed future hip-hop artists to use it too. So when Nipsey wanted to sample it later, the clearance was already handled. That kind of forward thinking inspired Nipsey deeply. It wasn't about flexing, it was about opening doors for others. The result was explosive. Nipsey sold all 1,000 copies of Crenshaw in under 24 hours. He made $100,000 off what most people still called a free mixtape. Then they took it on the road. Pop-up shops popped up in Brooklyn, Chicago, and every major city on the tour. Hustlers pulled up with stacks, buying 10 or even 25 copies at a time. It wasn't just a purchase, it was a salute. Boxes flew off tables. The energy felt like a movement, not a product. But success brought backlash too. 3 weeks before Crenshaw dropped, Complex magazine placed Nipsey on their underachievers list. The timing felt disrespectful. After the mixtape blew up, Complex asked for an interview. Nipsey responded with an email saying the interview would cost $10,000. He was fed up and done being played. That email led to an unexpected meeting with Mark Echo, who owned Complex at the time. They talked, gained respect for each other, and cleared the air. Mark explained the magazine ran on individual opinions. Nipsey accepted that, but he still wanted his voice heard. So Nipsey got on the phone with the writers and didn't hold back. He told them their metrics were wrong. He wasn't on drugs, wasn't dead, and wasn't facing life in prison. I'm an overachiever, he told them. Judge me as a man, not just a rapper. He went even deeper. Nipsey said, if you cover a culture without loving it or understanding its values, you shouldn't speak on it. To him, slick commentary felt like real lives being treated as entertainment. If you wouldn't say it to my face, was the message. Don't say it behind a brand name in a high-rise office. By this point, the industry was watching closely. Nipsey wasn't just rapping anymore. He was challenging the rules, the gatekeepers, and the entire value system of music. And right in the middle of all that pressure, his personal life began to shift too. In 2013, Nipsey started dating actress Lauren London. What began as a business connection slowly turned into something deeper. Lauren understood his world. She came from LA, moved with grace, and matched his energy. Together, they built a partnership rooted in respect, discipline, and love. That bond would soon become one of the most important forces in Nipsey's life. Nipsey and Lauren's connection wasn't just public, it was intentional. Early in their relationship, Lauren put Nipsey onto books, including The Way of the Superior Man, a guide focused on discipline, purpose, and strong partnerships. That mindset fit exactly where Nipsey was headed. When asked about being with a powerful woman, Nipsey explained it in simple terms. Whoever you surround yourself with shapes who you become. If you're around people with low standards, that energy spreads. But if you're around people with integrity, ambition, and discipline, that rubs off too. Lauren worked, brought home her own check, and carried herself with confidence. Nipsey said that kind of partnership forced him to stay sharp. Falling off wasn't an option when the person next to you is moving with purpose. It wasn't pressure, it was motivation. Steel sharpening steel. That daily reminder pushed Nipsey to elevate in every area of life. In June 2017, Nipsey made another major move. He opened the Marathon clothing store at the intersection of Slauson Avenue and Crenshaw Boulevard. He built it with partners Steve Carless, Karen Civil, and his brother Black Sam. This wasn't just a store, it was a smart store. Customers could scan items and unlock exclusive music, videos, and content through an app. Culture and technology blended in real time. A year later, Nipsey doubled down on ownership. He partnered with real estate investor David Gross and bought the entire shopping plaza where the store sat. That was legacy thinking. Ownership in the neighborhood he came from. On February 16, 2018, after years of delays and grinding, Nipsey released his debut studio album, Victory Lap. It debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200, moving over 50,000 units in its first week. Songs like Double Up, Last Time That I Checked, and Dedication, featuring Kendrick Lamar, hit the Billboard Hot 100. Kendrick's verse calling Nipsey a man first validated everything Nipsey had been fighting to prove. Victory Lap earned a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Album in 2019. It lost, but Nipsey didn't flinch. His vision had already expanded beyond music. He co-founded Vector 90, a co-working space and STEM education center in Crenshaw. The mission was simple: connect underrepresented youth with real opportunities in science, technology, engineering, and math. Nipsey also spoke openly about cryptocurrency. He believed it was an equalizer created by engineers and programmers to challenge corrupt systems. He invested in tech companies and constantly talked about ownership of information and capital. Then there was the documentary. On The Breakfast Club, Nipsey addressed Dr. Sebi, a controversial herbalist who claimed health benefits through a plant-based alkaline lifestyle. Nipsey was careful with his words. He wasn't claiming cures. He was interested in the story. He explained that someone once went to court and won a case defending their claims, and from a storytelling perspective alone, that mattered. It was a story about power, money, and control. Nipsey said he tried the lifestyle himself to balance his energy. Touring nonstop, smoking, and eating wrong had worn him down. Adjusting his habits helped him feel better. That curiosity pushed him to read, research, and eventually consider telling the story in documentary form. He believed people should be able to explore information and decide for themselves. But after Nipsey's death, speculation exploded. Dr. Sebi had died in police custody in Honduras in 2016 under disputed circumstances. His family questioned the official explanation. That timing fed conspiracy theories connecting everything together. Dr. Sebi's family later spoke out directly. They shut down rumors and made it clear Nipsey didn't die because of a documentary. There was no hidden plot. Still, the timing unsettled people. At the same time, Nipsey was planning something major for his city. He had reached out to the Los Angeles Police Department and Roc Nation to organize a meeting about gang violence prevention in South Los Angeles. That meeting was scheduled for April 1st, 2019. Nipsey never made it. On March 31st, 2019 at 3:18 p.m., Nipsey Hussle was shot outside the Marathon clothing store. 2 other people were injured. Nipsey was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. He was only 33 years old. Police identified Eric Ronald Holder Jr. as the suspect. Testimony later revealed the shooting followed an argument over rumors of cooperation with law enforcement. In gang culture, being labeled a snitch is one of the most dangerous accusations possible. In July 2022, Holder was convicted of first-degree murder. In February 2023, he was sentenced to 60 years to life. Los Angeles stood still. The loss felt unreal, and the city would never be the same. Where many outsiders only saw gangs, violence, and despair, Nipsey saw untapped potential. He believed South Central Los Angeles didn't need saving, it needed investment, structure, and belief. Even in death, that vision shook the city. Nipsey's memorial service was held on April 11, 2019, inside the Staples Center in Los Angeles. A 25.5-mile funeral procession moved through South Central and Watts, with the Nation of Islam providing security. The streets were packed with people honoring a man who represented something bigger than music. Then something historic happened. Gang leaders from across Los Angeles, Crips and Bloods, stood side by side. They marched together at Nipsey's memorials and organized peace summits between LA and Compton. Agreements were made to avoid each other's territories and stop shooting. Hundreds of gangs participated, echoing the powerful truces of 1992. In death, Nipsey united people in ways he couldn't fully accomplish while alive. His name became a reason to pause violence. The impact kept spreading. The intersection of Slauson Avenue and Crenshaw Boulevard was renamed Ermias Nipsey Hussle Asgedam Square. Murals honoring Nipsey appeared across Los Angeles, turning walls into reminders of purpose. Marathon book club chapters formed, inspired by the books Nipsey talked about in interviews. His words continued teaching long after his voice was gone. Musically, Nipsey's presence only grew stronger. Victory Lap climbed to number 2 on the Billboard 200 after his death. His single, Racks in the Middle, peaked on the Hot 100 and went on to win Best Rap Performance at the Grammy Awards. His collaboration, Higher, with DJ Khaled and John Legend won Best Rap Sung Performance. The recognition confirmed what his supporters already knew. In September 2019, Puma released the Marathon clothing collection. 100% of net proceeds went to the Neighborhood Nip Foundation, turning fashion into funding. As of 2025, Nipsey Hussle's estimated net worth stands around $9 million, built through music, business ventures, real estate, and intellectual property that continues generating revenue for his estate. A Netflix documentary about Nipsey's life is currently in development, co-produced and directed by Ava DuVernay. His story is still being told on the biggest platforms. Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, was appointed permanent administrator of the estate, protecting the vision and keeping the mission intact. Lauren London continues honoring Nipsey's legacy while raising their son Cross, now 9, and her son Cameron. She regularly shares tributes, photos, and quotes that keep Nipsey's spirit alive. On anniversaries of his passing and his birthday, Lauren posts messages that remind the world their love didn't end. It evolved. Her platform became a celebration, not a shrine. Those moments captured on camera show a man devoted to his family and his purpose. Cross will grow up knowing his father through stories, values, and example. The Marathon clothing store remains closed, but it stands as a monument, a physical reminder of ownership, vision, and refusing to leave the neighborhood behind. Nipsey once said, "The marathon continues," and he was right. Ermias Asgedam is still running, still inspiring, and still proving that one man from Crenshaw can change the world by refusing to compromise his truth. If this story meant something to you, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment below. Let people know this legacy matters. The marathon doesn't stop here.